Hi, I'm Alex.
And I'm Liz.
This is the story of how I proposed to my girlfriend. It started on a Saturday in early October of 2015. I handed her an envelope out of the blue and basically told her to have fun.
I was like, oh, cool.
In the envelope was a little explanation of what lied ahead in a crossword puzzle.
He knows I love crosswords.
After solving the puzzle, she then needed to take the letters from the specific numbered squares to create a phrase based on the series of numbers written on the back of the crossword. After doing this, it read, "Seat in terrace." This led her to look under the bench we have in our terraced backyard, where she found another clue. This time it was a rebus and a hint telling her to check my computer with the answer. When solved correctly, the rebus directly read, maybe Mitz minus mountain, Thebes plus tramp minus ramp thing, which simplifies to maybe it's the best thing.
I had a little trouble with Thebes since it doesn't actually exist anymore.
My bad.
But he gave me additional hints to figure it out.
My good. Anyway, the solved phrase is lyrics to the song The Worst That Could Happen by Brooklyn Bridge.
Love that song, but so melodramatic.
When she played the song on my computer, it played a sound file that I had made.
Children listening, cheer softly when you birdie. Don't cuss when you miss.
This clue took her to the nearby Frisbee golf course, which has a sign with the quote on it. Behind the sign was a QR code. She used her phone to read the QR code and was presented with two riddles. The answer to the riddles were matrix and spare. So she had to look in the spare tire compartment of our Toyota Matrix. Inside there was a set of envelopes with more directions and a bunch of puzzle pieces. When put together, there were two images on the puzzle, Marshy the Marshmallow and the guys from Chips in Chocolate.
I had no clue who they were, but my brother-in-law did. I should note that I was able to solve everything up to this point within the same day.
The directions told her to look at her place of employment, New Seasons, between the two things indicated, marshmallows and chocolate chips.
This took me a while, since the months near the holidays make my job super busy. Also, with the little time I did have to look, I got stuck on the idea that the clue would be in my backstock. I didn't think he'd put it out with the customers.
I did. After a lot of guidance, she eventually found the clue. This one had a set of numbers and letters with only BGG 10,965 as a clue. This led her to check the Board Game Geek website for game number 10,965, or Wordspin. We barely use it as a game, it's more of a knick-knack that we use to leave cute messages around the house. After placing the dials in the numbered order,
it took me a little while before I realized they had numbers on the bottom of them.
And then aligning the given letters, the opposite side read, Rancho under work table.
Rancho is the name of my parents' house, Rancho Tomaso.
She looked under the work table in the backyard and didn't find anything.
I looked really hard.
I had put it there months before, but time and the outdoor conditions had caused it to fall. Luckily, one of the parents had picked it up and put it on top of the table instead of opening it up or throwing it away. This clue had an image of Pablo Picasso's Don Quixote and another riddle. The image led her to our garage, which is where I have a print of the sketch. The riddle was the combination to the padlock I had placed on the crawlspace door below the picture.
It was an easy riddle. The answer was bark, but I didn't notice that the lock was a letter code.
Once she opened that, the door had 25 envelopes pinned to it. The clue above it let her know that only one of them was the real clue. She had to pick out the one that called to her.
Cryptic as hell.
Yeah. See, throughout this entire hunt, I had been only referring to her as E, so most of the clues start with for E or para E. To give her extra hints, I even labeled her Christmas presents 4E.
I put it together eventually.
She picked out the clue in section 4E. It had a list of seemingly random letters on it. The directions above the clue told her to kill the diagonal ones of the first clue. This meant she had to get the crossword from the first clue and use the letters in the diagonal to know which letters to cancel. The remaining letters spelled Le Bois.
That told me to look in the wooden block puzzle thing I have called Les Bois Familiars.
Inside that was the final clue. A piece of paper with a series of holes in it, topped with a weird shape and a question mark.
I tried to match it up with things around the house.
As she was about to put it away to solve later, she thought to put it over the crossword. Once she did that, it read, Will you marry me, E? Liz was a bit stunned and said,
Is this for real?
She also said yes. By this time it's late January, so it took about 4 months. But that's the story of my proposal.